time you're like, nah, I'm not trying to do that.
Well, I start looking at these kids now. When they went under the bubble, I started looking at how much help these guys need. I looked at the LA Clippers, and I seen something that really disturbed me. When a guy like Patrick Beverly, who was in the game, and people slack off of him and don't give him respect, and he doesn't shoot the basketball and he does nothing, and then it becomes a hurt thing for his team. That really got me upset, because if I was with that kid, I would have been telling him, look, shoot the ball. I don't care what it is. When I came out of college, everybody said I couldn't shoot. So I made it in my mind to say, I don't care about what people say. My job is to get productive with everything I do. And if I put that ball in that circle, in that little orange hoop, it doesn't matter. And that's what I started doing. And then all of a sudden my confidence came up here. And then everything I did was a positive. So I just want to now understand these kids, because they need a lot of guidance, because they're young, they're 18, they're 17, and they don't have it all here, because they don't have nobody they respect and they want to be a mentor to. So I decided
are you looking to be a head coach or just an assistant, or?
You have to start somewhere. And with my status and stuff like that, I'm not going to try to come in here and become a head coach right now. I have to learn the game. Okay. I have to do that. Eventually, I want to be running a basketball team where I can make decisions on who I can draft, who I can bring into a situation where if the blame comes upon me, that nobody can fire me, I'll fire myself. And then I say, I put this together, I put these pieces here, and that's what I want to do. And that's where I'm trying to go.
Can I get on that payroll though?
Yeah, you could be a ball girl, just walking around, throwing the balls around and retrieving to people.
Ball girl?
Hey, let me ask you a question, G. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. So, being that you played in the 90s where you had a dominant career, became a Hall of Famer in the 90s, do you think the kids now will listen to somebody like you? What makes you think that they will listen to somebody who they possibly weren't even born when you was, doing your thing?
But that's just where we have to get it to as a respect thing. You got to learn about kids. Some of these young kids might not, but they're going to have to respect me if I go at them in a different way. I'm not going to baby them. I'm going to ask them anything. I'm going to be like, if you don't want to listen, then don't listen. Because whatever this guy over here, this kid over here listens, and you see how good he gets and better than you and take your job, then that's going to be your problem. And I think some of these kids do know who you are at times. The ones who don't know who you are, Peanut, that means they're not basketball fans. That means they're not basketball junkies. They're not basketball. They don't want to get into basketball, and that's a problem. If you don't learn about basketball and learn about your history, then you doing a disgrace to the game. All you there is to play basketball and get money. And then I don't have to relate to none of them. But I got, in my mind, a lot of these kids know who I am. They know what I'm about. They've heard about me. They'll be okay. And plus, my son is in the league. So, he tells them, and he knows who his daddy is. And they know the respect that they got to give if I'm there.
Fred, what do you want to ask Gary something?
Yeah, G, when you first got drafted and got that first check, what was the first thing you bought? 2, what was the first vacation you took?
Well, Fred, the first thing I bought was a Benz. I bought a white 2-seater Benz, one of the first 500 SLs. That was the first thing when I got a check. My first real true vacation. I don't know. Where did we go, Mo?
Bahamas, Jamaica.
Yeah, I think it was the Bahamas. I think we went to the Bahamas and we stayed at that place at a hotel or whatever. We had the Paradise. We did that. We got a suite there. It was pretty nice. And then all of a sudden we started going everywhere. But I really do think that the honeymoon was really pretty good. Where we went, it was really nice.
Right. Okay. That's what's up.
One more question. Nobody care about that honeymoon.
Hey, I want to ask you something.
Let me just tell. Wait, Fresh. Let me just tell the story of the honeymoon. So we have went to Martinique and Barbados. And so we drove in on this road, and I'm like, gee, what we gonna do tonight? He's like, did you see the shit we rode in on? There was nothing in it. It's like isolated, nothing. We get to the hotel, there's no TV. You know, he's a TV junkie. He watches cartoons. That's all he does. We had to rent a TV. We had to call them to bring a TV in because it was so secluded. So this one time we go outside. You know, I'm a water freak. So I get on and try to water ski. I couldn't stand up. My ass was in the water as the boat was going. The water was
probably just need to be washed.
Shut up, fool. I could not get up. I got up, ran to the bathroom. This fool come videotaping me while the water is just gushing. I was like, dude, you need to get up out of here. He's like, that's what your ass get. You shouldn't have tried to get up there and try to water ski in the first place. But we were supposed to be there for a whole week. That night, he was like, you ready to go home? I'm like, yep, let's go. Because the kids was home, I was missing the kids. But it was a good time. It was a good time.
That's what's up. Hey, G, what was one of your favorite arenas to play in? As far as you had some of your best games, was it at the Key Arena?
Now you know Key Arena was always the best way. That's the home court. But when there's away, I think Houston was my best arena to go to. I had great games in Houston all the time. Every time I played in Houston, I gave numbers in Houston. I never struggled in Houston, and we dominated Houston while I was in the pros. So I think Houston would be one of my best.
Who is the big question that I have? So the big question I have is like, and we've talked a few times about it. Why is it that you won't let Oklahoma City retire your jersey since they left from Seattle to go to Oklahoma City? What is the real reason?
Peanut, you know the reason is I asked all three of y'all, did I ever play in Oklahoma City?
No.
So why should I let them get the benefit, the fans get the benefit of seeing my jersey in their thing?
Here's the thing. Me being a fan, just the fact that, like, I understand you didn't play in Oklahoma City, but that's where the team left. I still wanted to see, you know, my third favorite player of all time, first being Magic, second being myself, and third being you know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to see your jersey retired because, like, you know, you're my partner. So it's like, you've been in the Hall of Fame, you've been an all-star, you're one of the greatest ever. You're the only point guard to ever win Defensive Player of the Year. You know, you have, as you say, I got 20,000 points and all that, you know, that you talk, but it's like
21,000. 21.
Get it right.
Yeah, whatever. So with that, I would like to see your jersey retired because I think that's like the icing on the cake for you. So you will never let Oklahoma City do that.
I love you for saying that, but that's just not the way my heart feels. My heart is not into that. So that will never happen until the team goes back to Seattle. I really don't.
You think that ever happen?
Huh?
You think that ever happen?
I hope so. I hope so, and I hope soon. And I know a lot of people want to see my jersey retired. Like, I want to see Sean Kemp's jersey retired. I want to see Detlef Shrimp's jersey retired. But we have got together and said that is not fair to Seattle. Yeah. I just don't. I'm not gonna change my mind. It's not gonna happen.
Are they asking you guys to retire your jersey in Oklahoma? Have they asked you, like,
yes.
Can we retire
you guys? They asked me several times until I start saying now that it'll never happen. So it's gone now. So it's not really. I'm really not worried about that. Everybody knows in life that my jersey should be retired already, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just a thing where it's a jersey on top of a building, but I want it in the right building. God will help me out with that. He will make it happen. I think I'm fine with that. I know everybody wants to see it, but I'm just saying it's just not in my heart to put it in Oklahoma City.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So on top of the Seattle women winning the championship, right? So let's say they said, hey, we respect the fact that you played here in the glove, because they still play in Key Arena. If they said, we want to retire your jersey on the behalf of what the WNBA believes, you know, the NBA believes, on the part of you being a part of basketball history, if they said, hey, can we retire your jersey, would you be okay with that to do it in Key Arena? Or would it need to be just an all-NBA situation?
No, it's not. It doesn't have to be an all-NBA situation. It can be just in Seattle. The Storm is a part of the Seattle culture. They've won several championships now, And if they do it, it's just almost like saying what Pat Riley did with Michael Jordan in Miami. He retired his jersey just because. Now, if that is the case, even if the Seahawks say, let me put your jersey up with the 12th man, I would say okay, because that is Seattle, and that's giving them fans an opportunity to see me do that, because all of them know, because our team has got taken from us, that is the cause of what's going on. And that's what I just, if it happens like that, I'll be more than happy to do that.
Hey, Gary. How do you feel about the assists being recorded today, in today's times, compared to assists being recorded when you used to play?
I think it's bogus, because nowadays everybody wants to get triple doubles. They want to do that. I have never seen this happen in my life, where you give a person a ball, he dribbles 3 times and pulls up and make a jump shot. He created I didn't create him to get an assist.
Right.
He created it on his own, but just because that person has passed it to it and who they are, they get the assist. And that's just bogus to me. It's just like these little guards now are getting all these triple doubles. I don't get how a guard, because it was so hard for myself to get a rebound. And with me, when I get 10, 11 rebounds, that'll take me another 5, 15, 16 games to do it again. But now you've got guards who are getting 16 rebounds. It comes right back and get 20, because all of these big men are just saying, here, get the ball. We know what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. It is what the game is about now. That's what it's about. That's how the era has changed. This is what they want to do. Then we have to realize, and we have to, go with it.
Hey, G, let me ask you, who do you think, what team and what players you think the bubble affected positively the most and negatively the most, being in the bubble?
I think the most positive team that it affected was the Phoenix Suns. I think the Phoenix Suns, which I would have loved to see get in the playoffs, and they would have started a little habit. They were pretty good, and I hate that they didn't make it, and that was just, it was just, to me, it was crazy, because that team it was undefeated in that thing, and they didn't have a chance to get into the playoffs, and they were probably a better opponent to me, to the Lakers, than Portland was, because Portland got hurt and the thing didn't match up really well.
Right.
The team that I thought was a negative with that, Los Angeles Clippers. I think that they didn't excel to what they wanted to excel, because of the simple fact is they were about to start stoppage. Doc Rivers begged them to come back, and I didn't think their heart was there. I just think they wasn't there. They didn't play the way, and that's why Doc stepped away, and everything is new now. And, a lot of teams got new coaches. I hate that my boy, and like big brother to me, Nathan Miller, got fired of the job he did where he was at Indiana. That was just crazy. And this year has been really crazy for a lot of people. And it's just going on and on and on. And I'm just wishing that this next 2 months end and we start another chapter in 2021.
Okay, appreciate that.
So let me ask you this. 2 questions. The first one is, give me your starting 5 all time, only from Oakland though. From y'all little, tree in Oakland, y'all group, y'all people, y'all squad. You can only pick people that are from Oakland. Who are your starting 5?
I'm gonna have to go with me and Jay Kidd starting at the guards. I have to pick big fella Bill Russell to put in the middle. Then I would have to have Antonio Davis as a power forward, and then a lot of people have Cliff Robinson. Cliff Robinson, who was in the NBA and it was really good. It was great.
You got your 5. Who's your 6th man?
Brian Shaw. I think Brian Shaw would be probably my 6th man, and then I would have to go with Isaiah Ryder. Ryder.
You gonna leave Dalo?
Huh?
You gonna
Dame
leave
Dame is a young guy right now. So we're talking about old school guys. But if you want to, as a kid, and he's coming up in the next near future, when he gets 10 to 15 years in the league, yeah, we're gonna have to put him up in there. It's gonna have to be probably me, him, and Jay Kidd starting. That's a small lineup, and then Bill Russell and then we can give it whoever next. I would probably still give it to Cliff Robinson, man, because Cliff Robinson was a great basketball player. What people don't understand, in his day when he was in the NBA, he was really good.
Yeah. Okay, so who's your starting five all time?
You know, Ned, I don't really like to do that because it's really saying who's the GOAT and who's not. But you would have to always go. I would have to always go with Magic Johnson, Kareem, Wilt, Jordan, and then I would always come with Larry Bird. I think them five is probably my top 5 players. I wouldn't put them as 1 to 5, but I think they were the greatest basketball players to ever play. And then Bill Russell is right outside of that at number 6. You know what I'm saying? So to me, them 5 solidified basketball to me. They were great. You know, Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem, it would be a toss-up for them to see, but I think Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest. I just can't let people understand. George Gervin, like, that's my pops. So, you know what I'm saying? That's like my second dad. He was really, really good. Really, really good. You know what I'm saying? And I idolized him as long as I was coming up. So, but he's right there in that category, the top 20.
Tell the people that something about you that they don't know.
Besides, I'll be whooping you in bowling.
That's a lie.
And that jump shot in your eye. Fire!
Hey, look here.
Fire!
Y'all all my family, right? And I let all y'all feel good about doing something against me because it is good. It's great.
No, you was trying to guard in the backyard. He do the bat, pull up, Jay fadeaway, pie.
If everybody really want to know about that, he only films when he makes a shot at about the 50 out of I had. I don't know what happened to that team.
Hey,
every time I was
I don't know what you're talking about. It was one video, and I hit a shot, pie right in your eye.
Listen, you know what?
Hey, G, what's the best game you ever played, or the most memorable?